All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jay, host of the Technical File Podcast and host of the SJP Files, brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other podcast you listen to. You can make money from your podcast, no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Round now say the same thing. They chasing the fame. They got what the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Make way for the kingdom. The king me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Technical File Podcast. I am your host, Jay, brought to you once again by Anchor. Now, today, very simple episode. Actually, not even really that simple. Today, we're talking about the Eastern Conference playoffs. Rundown simple. It's the Eastern Conference playoffs, Eastern Conference finals. Sorry about that. Game 5, which took place on, Monday night? No, Thursday night. Sorry. Also, we have the NCAA name, image, and likeness that, just hit kind of the web. We got the Ben Simmons trade, refusal or breakdown, whatever. The Bleacher Report that the Knicks are a possible destination for Chris Paul. The USA's Sha'Carri Richardson being, banned for 1 month for a failed marijuana test. We're also going to talk about some of the players who have, hit the name, image, and likeness thing in the NCAA, the ground running. We got people just, players from all over the country just making money off this thing. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I mean, as soon as this thing hit, everybody was making money off it, just like that. And I'm a big fan of it, man. Yes. Huge fan of this name, image, and likeness stuff. I mean, we'll break that down in a moment. But first of all, the NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5, Milwaukee wins 123 to 112. I'm sure you've heard this game. I'm sure you've heard, people talk about this game. But this game was basically won in the first quarter. Milwaukee outscored Atlanta 36 to 22. And, Bogdan, Bogdanovich, 6 points. Lou Williams, 2 points. Clint Capella, 2 points. But the real story of this game is Brook Lopez. That's the real story. Brook Lopez ended this game with 33 points. What? 14 for 18 from the field, 5 for 7 from the three-point line, 33.7 rebounds, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Bobby Portis also started this game. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. What? Chris Middleton, 26 points. Drew Holiday, 25 points. I have no idea what's going on. I said, and I still believe this. I still believe the Atlanta Hawks probably have a better roster. My issue, actually, the reason I picked the Atlanta Hawks to have a better roster than the Milwaukee Bucks was simple. The streakiness of Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, and I didn't think Brook Lopez had this in him. Brook Lopez probably went up to Giannis before the game. I have no, inside sources, but I think he went to Giannis and said, I got you, dog. I got you. And Giannis probably looked at him, yeah, man. Yeah, I know you got me. Looked over to Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and said, this nigga ain't got me. Y'all gonna have to carry this team. And, shout out to Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez had Giannis's back in this game. Like I said, he had 12 points in the first quarter. 5 for 5 from the field. Drew Holiday, 11 points in the first quarter. Bobby Portis, 6 points in the first quarter. What the fuck happened? This game was basically over in the first quarter, but give credit to the Atlanta Hawks. They did put it on the the Milwaukee Bucks in the second quarter. They did narrow this lead down to what was it? It was lead was as big as like 20 points at one point. At one point in like the second half, it was like it was a 20-point lead essentially. And the Atlanta Hawks fought their way back, hit some big shots. Yeah, big shots from John Collins, hit 2 threes. Bogdan Bogdanovic hit a couple shots. Red Velvet hit a couple shots. Clint Capella gave you some buckets. Cam Reddish came off the bench, gave you some buckets, but it just wasn't enough. Bobby Portis, another 8 points in the second quarter. Brook Lopez, 4 points. PJ Tucker gave you some points. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton showed the hell up in this game for like the first time all fucking, essentially the first time all fucking season. I mean, this was if they could give the if these two could give you this game every single week. I mean, not every single week, every single game. If these two could give you these games more often than not, the Milwaukee Bucks would be the unquestioned favorite heading into the NBA Finals. At this point, they're just not consistent. I know what I'm going to get from Giannis. I know I'm going to get about 35 points, 10, 15 rebounds from Giannis. I don't know what I'm going to get from Chris Middleton. I don't know if I'm going to get Chris Middleton who's going to give me 25 points or the Chris Middleton who's going to give me 15 points. Am I going to get the Drew Holiday am I going to get the Drew Holiday in this game that's, 9 for 20 from the field, or am I going to get the Drew Holiday that's 5 for 20 from the field? Am I going to get the guy who's going to give me 25 and 13, or I'm going to get the guy who's going to give me 10 and 5? That's the main issue with this team. These two guys are very inconsistent. One game, they're great, like this game, and last game, they were not so great. Last game against Milwaukee, these two guys basically got blown off the court. I mean, they were both 6 for 17 from the field. Drew Holiday was 2 for 7 from the three-point line. Chris Middleton was 0 for 7 from the three-point line. 19 points, 16 points, 9 assists, 5 assists, respectively. Brook Lopez, he only had 7 points last game in about 29 minutes. PJ Tucker, 8 points. Once again, you never know what you're going to get from some of these guys. So this series could turn on a dime. And I'm one of those people. Giannis is questionable for Game 6 tonight. That's not questionable, doubtful. I believe he's doubtful for Game 6 tonight. I do not expect to see Giannis Antetokounmpo in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not really expecting Trae Young in the Game 6 of the NBA Finals either. I'm not. Sorry. Got distracted by something real quick. My bad. Yeah. I know. I will very much try not to be distracted in the past. My bad. Okay. But in all seriousness, the Milwaukee Bucks put it on the Atlanta Hawks Thursday night, and this was a really good game. Like I said, the Bucks won this game basically in the first quarter, but overall this was a good game by two very good teams. I wish if I could get, Kevin Hurt has been kind of streaky this series. Same thing, Lou Williams giving you good production in place of Trae Young right now, but he's just not Trae Young. John Collins, okay production in this series, had a good game, but it just wasn't enough to close the gap. Bogdan Bogdanovic, also very good game, 7 for 16 from the three-point line, give you 28 points. Fantastic game from him. Danilo Gallinari off the bench, 19 points. That's what you need from him. But this team needs Trae Young. They have a very heliocentric offense. Their offense is basically built around what Trae Young does. And without him, this offense they were able to score, but they had a tough time scoring last night. They had a tough time, especially in the first quarter, getting their shots off. They had a tough time finding their rhythm without Trae Young on the court, which was weird considering the fact that they had almost very little issue finding their rhythm in Game 4. But they had issue finding their rhythm, and you have on Milwaukee, you got true shot creators in Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. They're essentially the closers for this team. Let Giannis do his thing for the first 3.5 quarters, and then you guys, play your game out, play throughout the game and let Giannis do his thing. So for that, that's what I would say for the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, I think they're gonna win this series unless Trae Young comes back relatively healthy. And by relatively healthy, I don't mean like a 50% Trae Young. I need a Trae Young that's gonna be like 60, 70. Maybe if I can get a Trae Young that's damn near 80%, that would be fucking fantastic. 80%, sorry, 80% Trae Young would be fantastic. I just don't know if you're gonna get that. I have no idea which Trae Young you're gonna get in this game, and it's it sucks for the Atlanta Hawks because I think they're a very very good team, and unlike the Milwaukee Bucks, they have not had kind of like the injury luck that the Milwaukee Bucks have had. I mean, they played the Knicks in the first round and the 76ers in the second round. There was no like there was no, they didn't have the injury luck. They beat the Knicks down in 5 games. Trae Young went into Madison Square Garden and punked all of New York. And in Philadelphia, that what it was 2 reasons why they won. Actually, the couple 3 reasons I would say they won that series. One, they showed up. They just showed up and played their game. Two, Ben Simmons' inability to shoot, and we'll get to Ben Simmons later in the show. Ben Simmons' inability to shoot, and Joel Embiid's knee injury. Now, Joel Embiid was hooping, but you can't tell me that knee did not hamper him in any way, shape, or form. And as for the Milwaukee Bucks, they crushed Miami, which is not what anybody was expecting. Most of us expected that series to go 6 or 7 games, but they crushed Miami, swept them in 4. And then for the Brooklyn Nets series, I mean, James Harden with the hamstring injury, he was basically on one leg, missed, I want to say like the first 3, 4 games of that series. Kyrie Irving went down in game 4, and they still barely won on the back of Kevin Durant. So yeah, they got a little lucky. It is what it is. Same thing. I mean, the Phoenix Suns also got a bit lucky. No, they were getting beat in the Phoenix LA series until, and Anthony Davis went down. LeBron wasn't completely healthy with his ankle injury, Davis with his leg injury. The Suns capitalized. They swept the Denver Nuggets. Even if Jamal Murray was healthy, I still think they beat Denver. They still probably beat Denver in 5 or 6. Denver probably wins a game or 2, but it doesn't matter. Same thing with them and the Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard didn't play for this entire series, but Paul George put the team on his back, got them a couple games, which has earned Paul George some respect. But this series is most likely over unless you can find a way to get Trae Young back on that court with that bone bruise in his foot. I don't think so. I wouldn't risk it. I know this is one of your very few chances. You never know when you might not get it, when you might get another shot at this. But I would say no. Unless Trae Young is like 75%, unless he can give me like a solid 75%, I don't think I would risk it. Same thing with Giannis. Giannis with his hyperextension, he's not playing. He's not playing in this series. He's done for this series. This series could go 7. He's still not playing. He's just not playing. I'm sorry, he's not playing. What? Why the hell would you put him out there? What on God's green earth would make you think him going out there would be a good idea? That's a horrendous idea for him. Terrible idea. You can't. You cannot put Giannis out there with that knee injury. You can't risk it, especially with all the money he's going to make. I don't think his contract extension has. Sorry about that. I don't think his contract extension has actually kicked in. I'm gonna look this up real quick, but I believe his contract extension kicks in this summer. Yeah, right now he's making about $27 million. Yeah, he's in the last year of his rookie extension, which was 4 years, $100 million. His next contract, 5 years, $228 million. He's gonna make $39 million next year, 42 the year after that, 45 the year after that, 48 the year after that, and 51 in a player option for his 5th year. And then his unrestricted free agency. I think this is your best chance for the Bucks to win a championship, but I don't think you need especially with Trae Young not being healthy. I don't think you need Giannis to win this series. I don't. As long as you can get these type of games from Brook Lopez out here bullying the Atlanta Hawks for 4 quarters, if you can get that type of game from, if you can get somewhere in the neighborhood of these type of games from these 3 guys, you can win this series. You can win this series. But I don't know, you're going to be going back to Atlanta for game 6. I don't know if you're going to get 22 points from Bobby Portis or 33 points from Brook Lopez. This is gonna have to be one of those games where Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton step up big. And I'm gonna need more than 26 and 25 points. I'm gonna need both of you guys to be in the 30s for the Milwaukee Bucks to close this thing out in Atlanta. Because I'm fairly certain Bogdan Bogdanovic, Red Velvet, Lou Williams, John Collins, those guys are gonna play better at home than they do on the road. So I would highly suggest you try and get this done. Actually, you know what? To get Giannis as healthy as possible for the NBA Finals, honestly, I would be okay with this going 7. But going 7 is a risky proposition because you never know who gets hot in game 7. And maybe Trae Young's ready to go by 7 and Giannis isn't ready to go by 7. I don't think Trae Young will play in 6. I haven't heard anything about Trae Young playing in game 6. So I honestly wouldn't be worried that worried about it. That's it for the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm gonna go with Atlanta in game 6. I think this goes 7. I'm gonna go with Atlanta in game 6. I think the Hawks show up in Atlanta in their home arena. And I don't know if I'm gonna get these type of games from Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis again. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta in game 6 to send this back to Milwaukee in game 7. No score. I hate doing that. But let's go with the Bleacher Report of agents fear the Knicks as a possible free agent destination for Chris Paul per Ian Bagley. No. This is not happening. This is not happening. Knicks fans, give it up. He's not going to I can't deal with this. This is some fucking foolishness by the Knicks fans. Boo the Knicks. Boo them. Boo the Knicks. Knicks. Boo. You fucking suck. This is so stupid. Chris Paul just got to his first NBA Finals. Like I said, old man CP gonna get him a ring this year. I've got them winning, especially with Giannis not being 100%. I have them winning in probably 6. If Giannis doesn't play, and Giannis may not play the first couple games, if Giannis doesn't play the first couple games, I don't think they have a real shot at beating the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix is so consistent. Their guys are so good. And if Devin Booker doesn't break his nose, doesn't have his nose broken by a motherfucker, what's his name? Damn it. Pat Beverly. If he doesn't have his nose broken by Patrick Beverly's shiny ass forehead, the Phoenix Suns beat the Clippers in like 5. Because that mask really hampered, Devin Booker's jump shot. And with no more mask, I expect Booker to just play better without that mask. That mask is hard to get used to. I expect Booker to play better. I think he will play better. So with that being said, goddamn bums. Once again, thank you to the Suns for getting the Clippers the hell off my screen. But this isn't happening. Chris Paul just got to the finals for the first time in his career with this group of young, hungry players. Young, hungry players who listen to him, who respect him. He's not going anywhere. He's signing an extension with Phoenix. I don't know how much money, because I'm pretty sure the Suns have his bird rights. Because he got traded from from OKC. So they have his bird rights. This is the last year of his. Is this a lot? No. Next year is an option year. I assume he's going to opt out and sign a new contract. I assume he's going to opt out and sign a new contract. This contract looked horrible when he first signed it, and now not so much. Now it's a good contract. It's a good contract because the guys on this team don't make that kind of money. Because you look at the highest paid players on this team. I mean, let's see. You've got Chris Paul's the highest paid player. Then you got Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton is making $10 million. Jay Crowder makes $9 million. Dario Saric $9 million. Mikal Bridges $4 million. Jalen Smith $4 million. Cameron Johnson $4 million. Devon Carter $3 million. Campaign is on the minimum. I mean, what? What are we doing? Ain't nothing to do. I don't think. Hold on. Let me look at some of these guys' contracts. See who's coming up when. Yeah. That's qualifying. You still got one more year. Yeah, he's eligible for a Ayton. I'm talking about Ayton right now. Sorry. DeAndre Ayton's eligible for a 5-year, $168 million max contract, which I assume they're going to give him this season because I think he's proven it. But that contract doesn't kick in until this contract. When the hell does this thing kick in? It won't kick in next year. It'll probably kick in the year after that. Yeah, it'll kick in the 2022-23 season. That's when that. So you'd have one more year of him at $12 million. Devin Booker, he's in the second year of a 5-year, $158 million contract. He's going to be making 31 next year, 32, 33 the year after that, 36 the year after that, and then he's got unrestricted free agency in 2024 when he's 27. Mikal Bridges, same thing. He's eligible for a 5-year, $168 million max extension. That's not going to happen. I like Mikal, but he's not getting. They're not giving him that much money. They don't give him some money. He's gonna get an extension, but he's not getting $168 million. That would be criminal. That would be criminally overpaying a guy. And like I said, I like Mikal Bridges, but ain't nobody giving him that type of money yet. No. That's hilarious. Yeah, he's not getting the type of money, but he is going to get an extension. Same thing with DeAndre Ayton. He's going to get the max. But I mean, what? Resign for slightly less money. If I was Chris, I'd resign for less money. You don't need to be making $40 million anymore, Chris. Come on now. Let me check Chris's career earnings. Let me check Chris Paul's career earning. His total gate. His earnings 16 seasons, damn near $300 million. God damn, nigga. About $300 million. He's made roughly $300 million in his career as a player on the court. That's without the. What's the word I'm looking for? That's without the off the court stuff. So no, he's not. Chris Paul is not going to New York. New York fans, let it go. It's over, man. Let the shit go. Let it go. He's hella not going to New York. Please, somebody stop this. Now, we're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna get some water. I'm fucking thirsty. We're gonna take a short break, and then when we get back, we're gonna hammer out the Ben Simmons rejected Ben Simmons trade from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Indiana Pacers, and then we'll get on the Share Richardson, marijuana beef, and then we'll hit the last topic of the show will be the name, image, and likeness from the NCAA. And we'll be back.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people.
And we're back. This is sorry. I felt like I was about to do the intro again. What the fuck? Sorry, it's been a little bit since I started recording, so I had to take a quick break and gotta get some water. I had to get something to eat. But we're back. Where the fuck were we? Yes, the 76ers, according to Bleacher Report, the 76ers reportedly rejected a trade of Pacers Malcolm Brogdon and a first rounder for Ben Simmons, per at Jay Dumas reports. Let me follow. Yeah, Jason Dumas. Let me follow my man. Let me follow my man real quick. But yes, this is okay. People know how I feel about Ben Simmons. This is not a bad. This is a bad trade to accept. This was a bad. This was a good thing that the 76ers did. You cannot get Ben Simmons for Malcolm Brogdon and a first rounder. If it had been Malcolm Brogdon, because I think the contracts match up. If it had been Malcolm Brogdon and like 4 first round picks, I'd think about it. I'd have thought about it. But if I'm Philly, first of all, I don't want Ben Simmons on the East Coast. I don't want Ben Simmons in the Eastern Conference. Ben Simmons needs to go somewhere out west. If you could somehow figure out a way to get to swap him for Dame, that would be fantastic for Joel Embiid. That's a championship team off rip right there. But you're not going to be able to do that. So what I would say to the Philadelphia 76ers, I think you need to trade Ben Simmons. I don't think you should. You can't send Ben Simmons back to Philly. You just can't. He needs his own team. Probably a small market to play in, but he needs his own team. He needs somewhere where he can just be him. If he is his apathy is irritating, honestly. It's incredibly irritating, and I can't do it. I can't do the Ben Simmons apathy. He needs to go. That's my personal belief. Actually, that's not even a personal belief. Everybody knows they need to trade him. And I know that some people were talking a couple weeks ago about, man, we need to be, respectful. NBA fans aren't like respectful, and we don't care about, if this had been like the first year we were having this conversation, I would be totally, I think it was Jay Williams. I think it was Jay Williams who said that, NBA fans aren't sensitive to these players. Like I said, if this had been the first year we were having this conversation, I'll be right with Jay Williams. If this was the first year we were having this conversation, I'd be right there with him. But this isn't the first year we're having this conversation. Ben Simmons got drafted in 2016. 2016 is when Ben Simmons got drafted. He missed his first year due to injuries. Due to, I think it was like a torn ACL. He missed his first year. Yeah, he got, foot injury. Now, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a foot injury his first year. He's been starting. Yeah, he got drafted 2016. 20 years old at the time. He's 24 now. That's 5 years ago. He's 4 years into the league. And his stats haven't changed. His statistics have not changed at all. Essentially, his rookie year, 54% from the field, then 56, then 58, now it's 55. 3-point percentage, 0, 0, 28%, 30%. Gotten slightly better. Yeah, because he's taken like 2 threes this year. This is ridiculous. His rebounding, 8, 8, 8, 7. His assists, 8, 7, 8, 7. Blocks, 1, 1, 2, 1. He's become a fantastic defensive player. Points per game, 15.8, 16.9, 16.4, 14.3. Where's the offensive game? Where is his offensive game? His offensive game has not changed at all. Not never. His playoff stats are getting worse. His points per game in the playoffs, 16 his first year, 13, actually 14. Now it's 12. Jesus Christ. What are we doing? 3-time All-Star, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 20 all he's he was on the All NBA team. I'm done with Ben Simmons. I am so done with Ben Simmons. It's ridiculous that Ben Simmons can actually do this. I don't understand how you've been in the league basically 5 years. And we've been having this conversation for 3 of them. We've been essentially having this conversation since his rookie year. Since his actual rookie year, when he actually won the Rookie of the Year. And it's not just that. It's also injuries, which no one else is really talking about. Ben Simmons played 58 games this year, 57 the year before that. Last 2 years, he has not been healthy. He hadn't been healthy the last 2 years, and he can't shoot. And what's worse, he won't shoot. Whether he needs to switch hands, whether he needs to work on his shooting and actually take jump shots, he can't do that in Philly. Philly is a championship ready-made team right now. Yeah, your coach is a bit overrated, but you have a championship roster right now. And this championship level roster with a guy like Joel Embiid, who is not going, Joel Embiid is injury prone. You just need one healthy season from Joel Embiid. And I think you can get one healthy season out of Joel Embiid, and you can get a championship in Philadelphia. But you cannot do that with Ben Simmons. You can't. This is not the time where you experiment where a guy is attempting to get a jump shot. This is not that team. He needs his own team. They need to get him out of Philadelphia today. Get as much as you can for him, but you need to get him out of Philly, and you need to get a star for him. You need to put him in a place like Portland. I would take Ja Morant in Memphis immediately. I'd take Ja Morant in Memphis. I'd take De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento. Definitely take Dame in Portland. Hell, give me Brandon Ingram from New Orleans. I'll take any of the guys in his generation, any of like the stars of his generation over him. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I would do it in a heartbeat. He's done in Philly, and I just can't. I can't deal with Ben Simmons anymore. I'm really trying to stop talking about this motherfucker. But this trade, this dude, this trade, this was not a good trade for the Philadelphia 76ers. I do like the fact that they turned down this trade. This was not a... Yeah, I would have turned this down. Malcolm Brogdon, although I like Brogdon, he's not good enough to replace what everything else Ben Simmons does. The problem is what Ben Simmons does defensively, playmaking wise, rebounding, all that other stuff that he does is great for the regular season. But when you get into the playoffs, your second best player has to be able to shoot. Your second best player not only has to be able to shoot, he can't be afraid of taking a jump shot. That can't happen. It just can't happen. Ben Simmons needs to go. Ben Simmons needs to go, and I know. Hell you booing me for? Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Cheers. He needs to go. He's got to go. And it's a shame. Not really, because I don't really give a shit. But he's got to go. They're not my team. They're not my team. I'm a Nets fan. They're not my team. And if the Nets had been healthy all year long, even though I'm not overly fond of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, I'm not overly fond of them as I'm not overly fond of their personalities. I love them as players. I'm not overly fond of their personality. I think Kevin Durant is either the best player or the second best player in the league. He's definitely one of the top two. It's him and LeBron. It's him and LeBron. And LeBron, when he was healthy, was without question in the MVP discussion this year once again. So once again, I still think LeBron's the best player in the league, healthy. Kevin Durant, same thing. I still think he's the second best player in the league. Whether he is going to be the best player in the league, I need one more year from that. I need to see where LeBron is next year, and I need to see where Kevin Durant is next year. If Kevin Durant is this Kevin Durant that I saw this year, then yeah, he's the best player in the league. I still think LeBron's probably the second best, without question. But as for Ben Simmons, they need to figure out a way to get him. They need to figure out a way to finagle this into an actual win. Because you need to trade him. I feel like you need to trade him. And I feel like you're trying to figure out ways not to do it. That's what I really feel like. You're trying to figure out ways how not to trade him. You need to trade him. This is over. Now, quick little sidebar. This Dame time in LA is not happening. The Lakers do not have the assets to get Dame Lillard. Like I said, the Lakers do not have the assets to get Dame Lillard. The only way you could even remotely justify getting Dame Lillard would be, like I said, the only way you could justify getting Dame Lillard is if you traded Anthony Davis. And I prefer Anthony Davis to Dame Lillard. Now, a healthy Anthony Davis to me is more valuable than Dame Lillard because of LeBron James. Because of LeBron. That's the way it is. It's because of LeBron. LeBron needs a big man. He does not need another ball dominant guy. And Dame is a ball dominant player. Now, Dame can play off the ball probably better than LeBron can. But Dame's another ball dominant guy. And I don't think you need another ball dominant cat. You do need another point guard for this team. I think Malcolm Brogdon, if he could ever stay healthy, would probably be perfect for the Lakers. He's a guy who can run the offense while LeBron, and you need a player who can run the offense while LeBron's not on the court. And Anthony Davis can't do that. But what Anthony Davis needs to do is Anthony Davis needs to figure out a way to adjust, whether it's his diet or his workout, to figure out a way to stay healthy. He needs to get a little bit healthier. He needs to figure out a way to get healthy. Maybe he needs to bulk up a bit. Maybe he needs to put some more muscle on. Maybe he needs to change the way he eats, change the way he works out. I don't know. But what I do know is this needs to change. This needs to change quick. This absolutely needs to trade quick. And I'm totally fine with it. If you could get Dame and keep Anthony Davis, because I think Anthony Davis healthy is probably the fourth or fifth best player in the league. I think he's the fourth or fifth best player in the league when he's healthy. I think offensively, defensively, when he's healthy and he's playing at they need him at the 5, and for some reason he doesn't want to play the 5, and it's irritating as fuck. I don't know why he don't like playing the 5. It's so wild. Because he's so good at it. Now, would I want him playing the 5 the whole season? No. That's what you get guys like Marc Gasol and DeAndre and Andre Drummond for. I don't need him to play the 5 the whole season, but I need him to play the 5 in the playoffs. That's what I need from AD. I need AD to play the 5 in the playoffs. And occasionally throughout the regular season, so you can get a feel for it. But in the playoffs, I need him to play in 5. Now, we're going to jump over to this Sha'Carri Richardson story. According to Bleacher Report, she won't be allowed to run in the 100-meter race due to a 1-month ban for a positive marijuana test, but she could compete in relays. Huh. Okay. That's what? Okay. This story. I understand why, because you should know better. For Richardson, she should know better. You can't. Yeah, she tested positive for THC. you probably knew you were gonna get tested. So why you were smoking weed? I mean, come on. But I'm still 100% on the thing. Weed should not be illegal in any way, shape, or form. It's not a performing enhancing drug. Well, technically, it could be because marijuana does dull pain and it does relax you. It's a fantastic painkiller. But yeah, so is cortisone shots, and those aren't illegal either. So once again, this I understand why she got banned from the 100-meter race because of that ridiculous marijuana test nonsense. But marijuana shouldn't have been illegal. But she should know better. She should have known better, and she should have been, clean for that race. Come on. I know she probably got a little nervous, and maybe she smoked a week or two before, but still, you got to know better than this. Now, I'm not blaming her. I think this is a stupid suspension, but you got to know the rules. But you got to know the rules, and you got caught. I mean, come on, you got to know the rules. Sorry. All right, now for today's name, image, and likeness. Whoop, woo, woo. Name, image, and likeness for the NCAA. NCAA has, well, they didn't really do it of their own free will. They essentially got pressured by the essentially the Supreme Court. They it wasn't really because if they were not essentially they were not really interested in doing this. They've never been interested in doing this. The NCAA is a fucking cartel. They've never been interested in getting these players the money that they actually deserve in any sport. I don't care. I've always been a fan of the name, image, and likeness. It's time these guys. If you're not willing to pay them, then you should let them be able to make money off their own name, image, and likeness. Hence the NIL. That is what name, image, and likeness is. Being able to make money off your own name, image, and likeness. And when the NCAA football game starts back up, EA is going to have to pay these guys, the guys that they want to use in their game. They're going to have to pay them. Like, unlike the old NCAA games where they just didn't put the players' names on them, but they had all their stats. I don't think they put their record. I think they might have put like their stats, their records in the game, but it was just all by number. But you could tell who they were because you saw these dudes' faces in the game, and you could tell who the hell these people were. It's like, oh, how is he not getting paid for that? Because his name's not in there. Get out of my face. But you got players off rip making bank off this. Hannah and Haley Cavender, the twins, the basketball twins from Fresno State, who are, big on TikTok, apparently. And they signed their first endorsement deal almost like immediately. Flew to New York on Wednesday. And pretty much negotiated a deal, and the deal went into effect as soon as the NCAA approved this name, image, and likeness. They signed it with Boost Mobile. They signed essentially, but like Boost Mobile, you got a picture on their Twitter with the Cavender twins, and Boost Mobile signed first deal in collegiate NIL history on Icon Sports Marketplace. It's nice, Boost Mobile. I like this one. And then you have Florida. Let's see what some of the other ones is. Florida State quarterback Mackenzie Milton and Miami quarterback De'Aaron King sign on as co-founders of Dreamfield Co., a business built to help athletes pursue speaking events, public appearances, and other opportunities. Milton and King will help promote the tech-based platform. They also plan to be among the first college athletes to create non-fungible tokens to sell to fans in the near future. I like that one. Florida State offensive lineman Dylan Gibbons announced on July 1st that he was using the new rule change to raise money via a GoFundMe to help a friend, Timothy Donovan, who suffers from an incurable disease that impacts nerves in his hands and feet. Gibbons said he plans to use the money he raised to help Donovan and his family attend a Seminoles game in Tallahassee this season. Yo, this is dope. You can see a picture of this on Gibbons' Twitter feed. It's amazing. This guy, I really like this one. I really, really like this one. Next, we have Iowa basketball player Jordan Bohannon plans to celebrate his newfound independence with a paid appearance at Iowa City Fireworks Shop this weekend. Bohannon, who is the leader of the not NCAA property group that pushed for players' rights during this year's March Madness tournament, also plans to partner with local cryotherapy company, monetize his podcast, and start selling personal merchandise through an online store. Get your paper, boo boo. Get your paper. Cheer. That's what the I'm talking about. Get your paper. Next, Nebraska volleyball player Lexi Sun is selling branded sweatshirts through volleyball apparel company Ren. She's one of many athletes that launching their own apparel this week. The list includes Kentucky basketball player Dante. I'm assuming Dante Allen, Texas football player DeMarvion Overshawn, and Miami's Derrick King, of course. Yeah, she's got some of the. Oh, it looks pretty good. Deontay Allen. I've seen some of it on his Twitter feed. It looks pretty good. The sweatshirt looks good. I might get one of these. I might support some of these players. All right, 5 members of the Jackson State football team coach. I believe the Jackson State football team is coached by primetime Deion Sanders, which, Aubrey Miller, C.J. Holmes, Tony Gray, Antoine Owens, and Warren Newman III. Jesus Christ. Signed a deal with 3 Kings grooming products. Owens was in New York City to officially sign his contract at midnight Thursday. Unveiler plans to spend $5 million over the next 5 years in partnership with college athletes promoting deodorant brand Degree. Nice. I use Degree. I love Degree. A company spokesman said it plans to spend equal amounts of money on male and female athletes that come from a diverse range of sports and backgrounds. I have no idea. Will be relying on fans to help it find athletes with unique stories worth featuring. Nice. Let's see. Ruzana, a restaurant chain based in Lincoln, Nebraska, announced Wednesday that it plans to offer a flat fee to the first 100 Nebraska-based college athletes who promote the company's rewards program on their social media feeds. Yeah, that's tight. Auburn quarterback Bo Nix announced an endorsement deal with Milo's Sweet Tea shortly after midnight on his Instagram feed. Yo, I love these people. I love all of these players getting their paper. Former Notre Dame walk-on football player Mick Asa says his company Yoke has onboarded hundreds of Catholic athletes since midnight on Thursday. The Yoke app allows athletes to make money by playing video games with their fans. Rates for athletes range from a few bucks for a game to a few $100 for their biggest clients, such as NFL wide receivers Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool. Yoke expects to have several thousand athletes from a wide variety of sports and schools on the app by the end of the week. Marshall offensive lineman Will Ulmer will no longer have to use the alias Lucky Bill or pass up money when he plays live country music in venues near the Thunder Herd's campus. Ulmer, who has been playing music since he was 8 years old, told ESPN he has high hopes to start making money by booking live gigs this summer. That's great, man. This dude, he plays football, but he's got another passion, and he's looking to make money off that passion. And now he can with this whole thing. I am so happy about this for him. Arkansas wideout Trey Knox and his dog Blue have partnered with PetSmart, opening the possibility to thousands of athletes and their animals across the country. From the front office sports page on Twitter, we have our first NCAA dog deal. Arkansas wide receiver Trey Knox and his husky Blue have inked a deal with PetSmart. I'm not a big dog guy, but this is a beautiful white husky. I've always been proud to be an Arkansas football player, but I'm just as proud to be a dog dad. That's incredible. this is great for sports, and maybe when they start paying players, we'll get more of this shit done. And the biggest one is Hersey Miller, Master P's son, signed a $2 million deal with an American technology company after the NCAA's NIL rule change per TMZ Sports. Miller is an incoming freshman at Tennessee State. That's dope. That's dope. This kid, well, first of all, he's Master P's son, so apparently he's better than his brother. So, yeah, apparently he's better than his older brother, which isn't that surprising because I like Romeo. I like some of his music when I was a kid, and a little bit of his shows, but he was better. He's better than me, damn straight. Better than I'll ever be at basketball. Yeah. Breach report just came out about 9 minutes ago. Giannis has been ruled out for Game 6. Ruled out for Game 6. God damn, that sucks. God damn, Sabonis. Sorry, I'm on Twitter right now. Big time reverse jam from Domantas Sabonis in I think this is FIBA qualifying for Lithuania. Go on, Sabonis, get your paper. Get paid. But this is great for all these athletes able to make money off their name, image, and likeness now, which they should have been doing for fucking decades. But the NCAA kept hammering they're amateurs playing in arenas in front of like 20,000 people. Yeah, amateurs. Amateurs, my ass. Amateurs who generate millions. Actually, who together generate billions of dollars. These people generate billions for college basketball and college football. Billions of dollars. Now, the other sports may not generate as much money as they do, like college baseball or volleyball or lacrosse or swimming or any of these, or soccer or any of those other sports. But you know what they do? You do have famous people from those sports. You do have people who have a name in those sports, and you do have people who have a name, because I think the name, image, and likeness is fair for everyone, because it allows you to hustle to make a name for yourself so you can make money off the court. Make six figures off the court. And if the NCAA was smart, they would know that, hey, this keeps some of the best basketball players and especially best basketball players in college basketball. Because with the NBA doing their G League thing, where guys can go to the G League like Jalen Green, who can go to the G League and make six figures off rip. Now you ain't got to worry. Now you might not have to worry about that. Especially, you know how much money Zion Williamson would have made if he had gone to college. Same thing with LeBron James. You have any idea how much money Zion Williamson, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, any of these guys would have made if they had gone to college for a year or two? But no, y'all got so stingy with the money. So now you fucked yourself over. And now you're doing this to avoid having to pay players at all. And now this whole name, image, and likeness. Congratulations to the players. I hope you get as much money as you can off the court. And eventually, the Supreme Court is going to come down hard on you guys. Even though it's a Republic, especially because it's a Republican Supreme Court. You know how Republicans hate to lose money. You know how Republicans hate when people violate antitrust laws. Hate when people don't pay what they goddamn worth. You know Republicans hate that shit. So congratulations to the players. Congratulations. And boo to the NCAA. Boo. Fuck y'all. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode of the Technical File Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. We'll see you again probably in a day or two after the Hawks-Bucks Game 6. Like I said, Giannis has been ruled out tonight, so we'll see.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit